Daniel Shaw, professor of Latin American and Caribbean Studies at the City University of New York, for more analysis on this. Now, do you think that we can pretty much safely say at this point that Joe Biden will be the one getting the nomination?
Well, not so fast here. Bernie supporters are very committed to anti-imperialism, committed to progressive politics. They're going to go down fighting. So I don't think, even though Tulsi Gabbard has thrown her hat in the ring behind Biden, we can say that this is over.
How do you think that the ongoing COVID-19 crisis has influenced the primary race? Many of the states have actually delayed their primaries, and we've seen some short turn up on others.
Yeah, the most oppressed, the people who have to work the most are clearly affected and are afraid to go out and vote. And if they have children or the elderly at home, they're doubly afraid. So clearly the entire primary is in crisis in that sense.
Why do you think Gabbard went ahead and did put her support behind Biden, even though in the announcement she did say that she doesn't agree with all of his policies?
Yeah, this is extremely disappointing from an anti-imperialist and progressive perspective, because Tulsi Gabbard, a woman of color with heritage hailing from India and another colonized country, the Samoan Islands, who represents the colonized people, Hawaii, and has so clearly critiqued U.S. foreign policy. I think a lot of people had high hopes that she would support Bernie Sanders, who is, of course, the most critical anti-imperialist candidate. So to see her fall in line with Joe Biden and commend Joe Biden, who is clearly an establishment candidate who represents the continuation of U.S. foreign policy, and so many negative things about the establishment, was clearly very disappointing.
At this point, Biden really does seem to be the chosen one by the Democratic establishment. Do you think that the scandal over Hunter Biden's dealings in Ukraine, his son, have in any way harmed his candidacy?
At this point, no. We saw different factions of the ruling class come together against Bernie Sanders. It's not really a pro-Joe Biden impulse by the ruling class and the ruling sectors of the Democratic Party. These factions are completely anti-Bernie Sanders and everything that he represents for the common people, the working people, the oppressed people of the U.S. So we saw how quick they called for their own unity in the face of this strong Bernie Sanders movement, which is bigger than the senator from Vermont. Is really a movement that will continue regardless of the result of the primary.
Who do you think would be a better nominee that would be able to take on Trump, Biden or Bernie Sanders?
Well, really, from the perspective of working people and oppressed people across this country, if Biden is the nominee, it's a choice between Tweedledee and Tweedledum. It's a choice. It's really like picking your poison, if you will. So Bernie Sanders was the real hope for the simple people, the humble people of the United States.
It was nobody's fault.
At this point, Biden does have so many delegates, and we've heard from the Sanders camp that they're thinking about their whole campaign. Do you think we're going to see him drop out, or is the fight going to continue?
What Bernie Sanders said directly was that right now his job is to continue to fight amidst this pandemic for the interests of working Americans, to be that voice that he's always been. So again, this is bigger than just a primary, though there is a ton of hope invested in this primary, in a Bernie Sanders victory. This is a movement for universal health care and for all the rights that poor people should have in this country, for a U.S. foreign policy that's diametrically opposed to what Trump and Biden and the ruling class represent. So this movement's going to continue to fight, not just in the electoral arena, but more importantly, historically, in the streets of the U.S.
Daniel Shaw, professor of Latin American and Caribbean Studies at the City University of New York. Thank you for your time and your comments.
Thank you.